Y'all get in here, get in here, get in here, get in here. And as you all are coming in, make sure you hit that like button. And if you like what you see, please make sure that you subscribe. Also, make sure that you are subscribing to my second channel. It is PETV underscore reacts. That is PETV underscore reacts. Listen, got a couple of things to do. So I'm going to give myself a 30-second intro, and then we're going to get ready to go over this information. All right. So y'all, let's go over this information really quick. I may go in and out of being on camera because I'm fuming. And it may not be for the way that you all are fuming. All right. So I found out this just morning that a Georgia teacher was pruned from the timeline in a car crash involving a migrant being chased by ICE agents. Okay. This happened yesterday morning during President's Day. The kids were out of school, but the teachers had to show up. It was a regular work day for the teachers. This woman, say her name. Her name is Linda Davis. Was on her way to work. ICE had stopped migrant worker who knew he was illegal. ICE knew he was illegal. They stopped him. He decides to jump in his car and speed down the highway. This is in Savannah, Georgia. And as the results of him speeding away from ICE, he ends up hitting a woman. He ends up hitting this woman who was literally going to work. We're going to say her name. Her name is Linda Davis. Linda Davis was a beloved special education teacher. She taught at, let me see what the article says. It says a local school at in Savannah, Georgia. So I'm going to read this article, and this article is by The Hill and is written by Jeff Arnold. And it says as follows: a Georgia special education teacher was killed Monday after police said the car she was driving was struck by a man who fled federal immigration agents, i.e. ICE, after an attempted traffic stop and after he made what federal officials characterize as a reckless U-turn. Linda Davis, who taught at a local school in Savannah, Georgia, was pronounced dead after her car was hit by a vehicle driven by Oscar Vasquez. And you see him on the screen. Lopez, who's 38 years old. A spokesperson from the Chatham County Police Department said Vasquez Lopez was attempting to get away from federal immigration and customs enforcement officers when the crash occurred just before 7 a.m. Vasquez Lopez faces first-degree vehicular homicide charges, police said, along with charges of reckless driving, driving without a valid license, and a failure to obey traffic lights. This lady taught at, I think it's Hess Elementary School, and the Hess Elementary School principal, Alana McMullen, said in a letter to parents that Davis died in the crash, which occurred just outside of the K-8 school building. So she was on her way to work, minding her own damned business. Minding her own business. Inches away, feet away from her job. And she's killed. Why? Because an illegal immigrant decides knowing that he's illegal, not going home, dusting himself off and trying it again. He wants to take the police on a police chase in the middle of morning traffic when everyone is getting ready to go to work. Davis had only started working at the school in September, the district said, and previously worked as a teacher within the district of Brock Elementary Schools from 2022 to 2025. The principal says that Dr. Linda Davis was a beloved member of our school family and her loss has affected us deeply. McMullen said in the letter to district parents, which was posted on social media. McMullen is not speaking to media organizations on Monday, the district spokesman said, but is expected to release a more detailed statement about Davis on Tuesday. And let me tell you why I'm mad. Because a lot of people are like, oh my gosh, you all are thing. Listen to me and listen to me very, very carefully. For those of you that know that you have relatives here and they are illegal, please encourage them to self-deport. All of this running and hiding and doing all this other stuff, they already have their information. They have their names for whatever reason in that immigration system. If you know you're in this immigration system, they got your name. Encourage your people to self-deport. This was highly unnecessary. And I know. The local police department said that this particular type of chase, they would have handled, they are trained and they handle it different. And we know, I have no disagreement with that. We know that the people that are working with ICE are not as trained as they need to be. Because they didn't start off as a law enforcement agency that was bestowed on them in the big, beautiful bill. But I'm mad because this woman was on her way to her job, minding her own damn business. Her own damn business. When Mr. Vasquez Lopez decides that he's going to run from ICE, the police, in the middle of the morning during morning rush hour traffic. Let me share the screen again because I want you to hear
chasing her, they weren't looking for her, but yet she suffered the ultimate.
so give me one moment. I want to make sure my audio is good. So we're going to listen to what her family and her friends had to say.
Of anything that was going on. They weren't chasing her, they weren't looking for her, but yet she suffered the ultimate consequences of their action.
Now, flowers, messages, and memories continue to pour in as coworkers and former students remember the educator they say made everyone feel seen. Linda Davis previously taught at Brock Elementary, where a former coworker of hers tells us every single student she taught truly loved and respected her.
Her soul was always so bright and royal. Her favorite color is purple, actually, and she always loved her kids and the people she worked with.
Buchanan said the news spread quickly Monday morning, leaving many in disbelief as they tried to process the sudden loss.
I didn't think it was real. You just never expect it like that. So it was very, very hard. It's still hard.
Buchanan says Davis supported coworkers just as deeply as she supported her students, reaching out during difficult moments and building relationships that extended far beyond the classroom.
Or she always made you feel like you mattered. So making every individual at the school feel like they matter, whether they're custodian or a teacher, principal, or even a student, you always matter. And that was her message to everybody.
Now, the Department of Homeland Security issued a news release earlier this evening blaming politicians for the crash. That release says, quote, after months of sanctuary politicians encouraging and instructing illegal aliens to resist and evade federal law enforcement.
Of anything that was going on.
I'm
They
gonna
weren't
restart it,
chasing her,
y'all.
they weren't looking for her, but yet of anything that was going on. They weren't chasing her, they weren't looking for her, but yet she suffered the ultimate consequences of their action.
Now, flowers, messages, and memories continue to pour in as coworkers and former students remember the educator they say made everyone feel seen. Linda Davis previously taught at Brock Elementary, where a former coworker of hers tells us every single student she taught truly loved and respected her.
Her soul was always so bright and royal. Her favorite color is purple, actually. And she always loved her kids and the people she worked with.
Buchanan said the news spread quickly Monday morning, leaving many in disbelief as they tried to process the sudden loss.
I didn't think it was real. You just never expect it like that. So it was very, very hard. It's still hard.
Buchanan says Davis supported coworkers just as deeply as she supported her students, reaching out during difficult moments and building relationships that extended far beyond the classroom.
Or she always made you feel like you mattered. So making every individual at the school feel like they matter, whether they're custodian or a teacher, principal, or even a student, you always matter. And that was her message to everybody.
Now, the Department of Homeland Security issued a news release earlier this evening blaming politicians for the crash. That release says, quote, after months of sanctuary politicians encouraging and instructing illegal aliens to resist and evade federal law enforcement, a criminal illegal alien attempted to flee from Immigration and Customs Enforcement. Law enforcement struck and killed a motorist in Savannah, Georgia. Now, WTOC spoke with Chatham County Commission Chairman Chester Ellis and Chatham County Police Chief Jeff Hadley today, and they both expressed disappointment in the way that the operation was handled. They say this tragedy could have been prevented if federal agents communicated with law enforcement, local law enforcement beforehand. An anti-ICE protest has been announced for Tuesday evening at 5:30 in Forsyth Park in response to.
So you all saw that. And I'm gonna just tell y'all really, really quick. I ain't gonna even hold y'all. Everybody is to blame for that. Everybody is to blame for this woman's death. Everybody. For those of you all that knew this man was illegal and did not encourage him to self-deport, for ICE not coordinating with the police so they could take him in either from his home or whatever. From those of you all in these sanctuary cities, or you all are announcing that not informing these folks that they need to self-deport, everybody is to blame. Everybody is to blame for this beautiful soul. Say her name. Her name is Linda Davis. Dr. Linda Davis, a special education teacher who was on her way to work. On her way to work. Everybody's to blame. Everybody is to blame for this woman dying. And I want to make sure that her name is said, because again, we've got the lady the lady and the man that were pruned from the timeline up in Minnesota. You say their names every day. You damn well need to be talking about this woman. On her way to work, sitting in her car at a light, getting her mind right so she could go and face the day. And you, Mr. Vasquez, for a whole year has known that ICE is doing all of this stuff. Knowing the president that we have, knowing the way that this whole country is set up right now, a whole damn year, you could have self-deported. Dust yourself off and tried it again. Staying too long for what? On a work visa? Now her family has to plan a funeral for her. And I think ICE and Mr. Vasquez should foot the damn bill. So I say this. You all know who you are. You all know who you are. You all know who you are, that you're here illegally. Self-deport. I'm not going to lie and I'm not going to hold you. I don't think anybody should be in no detention center, in no cage, or none of that. Don't wait for these people to get you. Self-deport. Dust yourself off and try it again. Now, Dr. Linda Davis is gone. You pruned her from the timeline, running from the police. ICE, with no training in pursuits. You did this. It's the middle of rush hour traffic, morning rush hour traffic. Ambulances have difficulty getting through anything. And what makes you think that you were going to be this gung-ho to try to get this man? Clearly you had to have followed him from his house. Or were you racially profiling? Very much pissed off. Because this doesn't have to happen. And Christy Noam, I need for you to understand clearly, you and Pamela Bondi. If United States citizens is your ultimate goal to keep them safe, shame on y'all. Shame on y'all. Your need to be so close to anybody in power, you don't even realize how you all are being played. You all running around here trying to exert any type of power. And all they're looking at is, look at these women failing miserably. This is why women shouldn't be in office. But you don't care. You think that if you're on the right seat of power, that you got power. Them people do not care about y'all. You better say her name. Those of you all that are so busy that are not encouraging illegal immigrants to self-deport, you better say her name. Dr. Linda Davis, you better say her name. If you're FBA, ADOS, Sulan, Black American, you better be saying her name. This is why it's so important to get these people to self-deport. You know you're here illegally. And I don't want to hear nothing about there are people here who are illegal and they need to go home. There's no other country that would stand for this. No other country that would stand for this. Everybody was wrong. There is no reason for Dr. Linda Davis, who was going to working hard, that she should be pruned from the timeline. Because Oscar Vasquez Lopez, 38, decides to run from the police, run from ICE. There's no reason that Dr. Linda Davis should be dead, because ICE is running around here acting a damn fool, running through rush hour traffic in the morning, chasing somebody. Dr. Linda Davis should not be dead. If there was coordination with the police and ICE, it is all you all's fault. Every last one of you. Christy Noam, you need to get your people together. If you got people out here that do not know how to do things, put the people in place that do. If you don't know, you don't have people that know how to coordinate, find the people that know how to coordinate, because this doesn't have to happen. You have a list of people that you should be going after. Stick to the damn list. You are culpable in this woman's death. Dr. Linda Davis, you are culpable in Dr. Linda Davis's death. Chatham Police Department, you knew that ICE was in there. Instead of taking your head and like an ostrich and sticking it in the sand, you should have asked them, what list are you working from? How can we coordinate this so that our citizens can be safe? No, you're not going to stop everybody. What you're going to do is you have a list of folks that you're coming to get, and we need you to get those list of folks first. Mr. Vasquez, Oscar Vasquez Lopez, you knew you were illegal. You knew you had no valid paperwork for being in this country. And you should have gone home. The family that helped you get here should have been the family that helped you go back home. See, in that way, you would have avoided an ICE detention center, from which I understand is hell on earth. You're all at fault. You're all at fault. And I am madder than a Mad Hatter right now. Woman sitting at the light, waiting to make a turn to go into her job, and now she has been pruned from the timeline. Everybody's at fault. Everybody's at fault. And I better hear Dr. Linda Davis's name in all of this every damn time. I better hear her name. From those of you all that are protesting ICE, I want to hear her name. Because you don't have an excuse. Sitting at a light, trying to turn to go into work. And you, Mr. Vasquez, rams right into her. Y'all, that's all I got. I just needed to come on live to make sure that all of you all that want to protect the innocent, you need to be saying her name. Linda Davis, Dr. Linda Davis, a beloved special education teacher, killed during an ICE high-speed chase of an illegal immigrant named Oscar Vasquez Lopez. We do this every week. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Please share this video if you care. Say her name, Linda Davis.